weekend in Stillwater, Oklahoma, for a number of reasons. Obviously, homecoming, the parade was great, walk around was great, and we beat Texas, so that was good. Texas,
you proved me wrong, Reed. It's the happiest I've ever been to be wrong.
I did prove you wrong, and Robert Allen as well. My pettiness will be peak on Wednesday because I will not let either one of you forget that exactly what I said was going to happen happened, sort of. I said it would be a total domination. It was a first-half domination, but close enough. I felt that it was going to be a special weekend in Stillwater, and it was. Oklahoma State beat Texas 38-35. Taylor Cornelius, the students here, the fans on Twitter. I know Mike Gundy, went in on Twitter after the game. But this game was for all of you Fire Mike Gundy people. To fire Mike Yursich, Jim Knowles, and sitting Taylor Cornelius. Taylor Cornelius probably had the most important 16 yards of the season for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And to be quite honest, if you're going to be that critical of somebody, you have to be prepared to eat your words. And you are nowhere to be found, people.
Everyone just did a 180 and just thought he was the best.
If you're going to call for somebody's job, and they're in this building, I know who they are. I saw them today. No words about it were said. Because you have to stick with this program, because that's what you get off a bye week with Mike Gundy. The top 10 team comes into Stillwater at 7 o'clock on prime time. That's what you're going to get. If you could have just flipped through a history book of the past 2013, 2015, you probably would have saw this coming. But you didn't do that because you were too focused on firing people. But we're not going to stick too much on that. Tylan Wallace, he mossed somebody.
Yeah.
He's a real contender for the Biletnikoff Award. A real contender.
Did we see the emergence of the next James Washington?
Well, I think we've been seeing it all year.
Yeah, now people
on prime. That's the first time we really saw it on prime time.
Yeah.
Tylan Wallace is something special. But as we said, Oklahoma State beat Texas 38-35, 502 yards of total offense for the Cowboys, 321 through the air, and 181 on the ground. Listen, we've got an entire segment to talk about this, and we'll get into a lot of it on Wednesday with Robert.
Yes.
But the most important thing here, Logan, to me is when I look at the stat sheet, 4 penalties for 52 yards for the Cowboys and 11 penalties, 86 yards for
the
Texas. And the offensive line. What an improvement for that offensive line and the penalties.
Yeah, for sure. I think they were energized. Barry Sanders and the War Pigs came back. And they were like, we don't have Barry Sanders back there, but we got a special guy in Justice Hill back there. We need to set him up for success and set Cornelius up for success. And like you said, the penalties way down. Texas. We got Texas on that offsides on what was it, fourth and 1 or something like that.
Yeah, with that punt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can go back and look, and you may disagree with the call the refs made, but they did a great job all around. Zach Steiner, you can say he had a good punt, but the Texas guy kind of ran backwards and helped him out a little bit on there. But it seemed like on all cylinders, defense, offense, and special teams, they had it together. And it's like you said, you see that with Mike Gundy off a bye week. There's magic stuff. I'm never going to doubt you whenever you say something about Mike Gundy coming off a bye week again, Reed.
Now, I could have been wrong.
You did great.
I could have been wrong. I might say something on Wednesday that will be wrong. But, for what they were able to do, and, you could say, well, it's obnoxious to sit here and do the horns down, and it's Texas. The arrogance is uncanny. Yeah. Texas is not back, but, what they were able to do, and especially in that first half, was just really impressive.
Yeah.
They weren't scared of Texas. Taylor Cornelius, 23 of 34, 321 yards, the 3 touchdowns through the air, and the 2 on the ground that last one was huge.
It was.
For the Cowboys. Justice Hill, 92 yards on the ground, and Chuba Hubbard, 80 yards, but he
could have had more if he hadn't.
That one was.
If he hadn't dropped that pitch and lost, 8 yards, 10 yards.
At the end of the day, it took more time off the clock.
That's true, but it also could have been a score. We could have won by
The football
10.
gods were just tweaking the game for it to be perfect, and it ended up working out. He saw he was going to score. He saw it, and he made a mistake. But, we've been talking about it all season. We're waiting for somebody else besides Justice Hill to get back there, and Chuba was back there, and he had a great game. He was turning 3-yard runs into 8-yard runs.
The dude is fastest man in Canada. And kind of going back to that play where he dropped the ball, why is Justice not out there if you're on the 1 yard line? You know what I mean? I know
Well,
Chuba's fast, but
running that kind of that sweep, I mean, you want that speed there. And to be honest with you,
Justice isn't super slow though. You know what I mean?
No, but Justice's short yardage, that there was a couple times where he couldn't get the short yards. I mean, he ran right into the back of his offensive lineman. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you look at what they did in Manhattan running that jet sweep, and that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
This was almost a nightmare, but they ended up getting the touchdown, so you can't, I mean, had they done that, you know, we would be sitting here criticizing, and I would be in a totally different mood than I am now. But you hold Texas at 35 points, 402 yards total offense. Tim Ellinger had 283 through the air.
Yeah.
They went for 119 on the ground. We talked about those penalties. Sam Ellinger, 22 of 42, 283 yards and the 2 touchdowns. He also had 47 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah. It's a good day to be a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think he was healthy.
No.
He did not look comfortable out there.
No, and, you know, he didn't take a lot of mean hits except for I think one in the first half kind of looked like it would have hurt his shoulder. But I would have thought they would have tried to exploit that more on the defensive side for OSU, trying to, you know, make him a little bit nervous about someone coming for that shoulder. And I don't think, not that they didn't get enough pressure, but that he didn't feel enough pressure. Like, he wasn't nervous enough. I mean, you saw him going into the fourth quarter on the sideline saying that they were going to win.
Yeah.
He should have been a lot more scared. People should have been coming for him. Not to say that people should try to get people hurt like that, but
no, but you go after that stuff.
If you know someone's shoulder's hurt,
you go after the shoulder.
Go after the shoulder. Make him not want to come out there anymore.
But, well, I mean, in the huddle, I can't knock the confidence.
Yeah.
But the way he was saying it wasn't a, hey, guys, we're going to win. Just stay focused.
Yeah.
It was a smug,
it was a
arrogant
conclusion.
type of, oh, we're going to win. Wrong. You weren't.
Yeah.
You weren't. And, you know, this weekend, we're going to get to the defense and, you know, some penalties on the last play of the game that, you know, we could criticize Tom Herman. One of those penalties was on him.
Yeah.
But, you know, Logan, we just have to say that this is for, we'll get into Colicchio, but Texas is back to not being back. Taking those L's again. There you go. Right there for you, Texas. You're not back. You never were. You're not now. And you won't be next week when you lose to West Virginia. That's what you get. No one was impressed with you who actually watches football. No one. The national media was in love with you because you're a moneymaker. That's why we were on primetime TV.
Yep.
Because you were Texas and you are worth everything to these people. Thank you for that. Because you got exposed on national television. Thank you. You proved that this program can fight with you at number 6. You've lost to Oklahoma State 4 years in a row, 7 of the last 9. Is that really back? Because you lost to Maryland too. You beat Kansas State, and I know we lost Kansas State. We struggled too. But when we're at our best, we're nowhere near the national darling that you are when you're subpar. Tom Herman, this is at you. Because when you say the things that you say, and the Longhorn Network and all this, you manipulate the Big 12 Conference, and you lose to Maryland, and your linebackers talking trash on Twitter and goes after somebody on the last play of the game, this is why no one is afraid of you. This is why I sat here with confidence last Wednesday and said, no chance. And you didn't have a chance. You got dominated for 2.5 quarters. I'll give you credit. You had fight, but your quarterback's saying, oh, we're going to win. Your linebackers on Twitter, enjoy the Holiday Bowl or wherever you go because you're nothing special. You get up and everyone falls in love with you after this game at the State Fair. The Red River rivalry, people are like, oh, look at that Texas team. Maybe you should get up for Oklahoma State like you get up for OU because you can beat OU. And maybe we should get up for OU like we get up for you. But at Texas, to be where back or wherever you think you're coming from, you don't lose to Oklahoma State 4 years in a row. Mike Gundy owns you. Owns you. Because when he was building this program, he was getting big leads on you then, and you had a lot more athletes than we did at the time. Now Mike Gundy owns you. And to take a shot at Tyron Johnson, what's his name, the linebacker? I always forget his name.
Number 44.
Brecken Hager.
Yeah.
Okay, Brecken. You talk trash. You're hurt all game, by the way. Your arm's hurt. You're holding your arm, but you can do this. You know, horns up, but your arm hurts all game. Okay, whatever. But you say you're going to come at Tyron Johnson, the ref says stop. He just says stop. And then he goes after Tyron Johnson and hits Taylor Cornelius. And then Mike Gundy comes out there and gets his players back. And then Tom Herman wants to fight. He wants to come out there. You know what, Tom Herman? Maybe Gundy had a right to go after your guy. And he didn't, but maybe, just maybe he did. Because that was dirty, that was cheap, and it's a shame and an embarrassment to your program. But you can't punish him anymore because you made a fool out of yourself. Because you charged the other coach. You went out there and it had to be held and restrained by refs. So now you can't even punish him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is this Texas? This is Texas.
The only thing I want to add to that, Reed.
Go Pokes.
Yeah.
I mean, I get so tired of Texas.
Every year.
And Oklahoma State, 38-35. Bye. The construction on I-35 is tough. I hope they enjoyed it. I know they probably flew with their fans.
Yeah.
And listen, did you see Mike Gundy without his shirt on last year? We're talking abs. Do you see him running on campus? You really want to come after that, Tom Herman? He can go 12. I'm taking it in 1. I mean, I'm tired of Texas. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the Texas is back jokes, even though I just made one. It's just like at some point, to be an elite program, you don't go through 10 years of being the laughing stock. You don't.
Yeah.
At what point are we going to sit back and say, until they win a Big 12 championship and can compete in a college football playoff, I'm not buying any stock in it? When will they learn? When will they learn that just because you're bringing in 5 stars, the elite in Texas, it doesn't matter if you can't produce on the field? When are they going to learn?
Never. It's Texas. I want to go back to the defense, our defense. AJ Green played the best game for sure, probably best half of football he's ever played in his life. And that pass interference call, everyone that watched the game knows, that was a bogus pass interference call. If anything, it could have been offensive PI, I thought, but this defense stepped up. We'd kind of been talking like, man, Jim Knowles needs to figure it out, and I guess he needed a bye week too. Maybe he got some of the Gundy magic on the bye week, but he was just a shutdown corner all game.
Yeah, I think they just got they overwhelmed them too much with that defense. Yeah. And with this bye week, they simplified it and ran what they could, and it worked really well.
Yes.
That secondary was impressive. Yeah, I think you're right. On that pass interference, that was if it wasn't a no call, it was offensive pass interference. It was definitely not on AJ Green, but God, it was refreshing to see what we saw against Boise State come back this week, and hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully you're right that they kind of simmered it down, just made it a bit more simple for these guys, and it can continue. And Calvin Bundage looked healthy.
Yes,
He had a motor.
Good.
I mean, he was very athletic, very fast, in all the right places. They were playing smart. Now, a couple times they got gashed, but at the end of the day, you win the football game.
Yeah.
And this is, Logan, this is what we've been talking about, that 38 for the Oklahoma State offense. I mean, you put up 38 points, you don't beat Iowa State, but you had an offense.
You beat K-State.
You hold them to 35. Yeah. You win that game. You put up 38 at K-State, you're good to go. So very impressed with the defense. Yes. Very impressed with Mike Gundy. Congratulations to the Cowboys. And I hope the Longhorns have fun preparing for Will Grier and that machine of an offense. Yeah. We'll be right back on One-on-One, OSU Student Radio, KXUI Suddenlink, Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit facebook.com/TinkerFCU. While you're there for your family, we're there for you. Tinker Federal Credit Union. And OSU Communications. Not sure where to park? OSU Communications has got you covered with parking tips and bus schedule information. We'll be right back.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses to help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
Welcome back to One on One on OSU Student Radio KXUI, Suddenly Channel 112. I'm Reed Spencer, joined by my co-host Logan Mosier, live from Studio 318 here on the beautiful campus of Oklahoma State University. Just one little fact, and we'll get into it a lot on Wednesday, but a little fun fact for Brecken Hager. He is now 0-4 against Oklahoma State and will never, ever be able to beat Oklahoma State on a football field. So that's fun fact, but let's get into
It's a good fact.
Everything that happened in college football this weekend. A crazy weekend as 11 of the top 25 teams lose. I mean, where are we shaking up here, Logan? I mean, what's going on?
All I know is Alabama's really good. The rest is
that is a take.
Yeah,
that is
it's a freezing cold take, but that's all I really know. Like, obviously, I think Clemson is kind of showing that they're one of the other three best teams. I'm not sure if they're second, third, or fourth.
I just don't feel like they've played anybody.
Right. But, I mean, they put up a lot of points.
That is fair. That is valid. Yeah, handing Florida State their second worst home loss, or their worst home loss in
school history.
In school history.
And, I mean, Georgia took care of Florida. Everyone just kind of, like, beat up on each other. I didn't really learn anything except for Alabama's clearly the best team in the country. And I saw an article on ESPN. It was like, sorry, Nick Saban, this is the best Alabama team ever. Like, why?
Yeah. Ooh, burn.
I know. Like oh, dang, Nick Saban. This team's better than last year and the year before that. Sorry.
They are.
What is that?
They are now. They have made LSU the biggest home underdog since 1997. LSU's 14.5-point dogs in Louisiana in the Bayou.
That's
In Baton Rouge, LSU is 14.5-point underdogs.
And, you know, everyone thinks LSU is one of the four best teams in the country.
So we're going through the AP top 10 here. They came out yesterday. Alabama, obviously number 1. 2, Clemson, as you mentioned. Notre Dame, LSU, Michigan, Georgia, OU, Ohio State, UCF, and Washington State. Of that top 10, give me your if the season ended tomorrow, if we're going to the college football playoff, give me your 4, and you don't have to fit with the national narrative, who you truly think the best 4 teams are in the first 2 out.
Okay, obviously Alabama's my number 1. See, it gets so much harder from there. Obviously, Alabama's number 1. Number 2, I would probably go with Clemson just because of what they did last week. And like you said, they haven't really played anyone, but they're undefeated.
They've proven themselves over the last 5 years with Dabo Swinney that they're competitive.
Right. And then number 3, I'm not as high on LSU as everyone else. I can't decide on Notre Dame. I'll put them in there, and then I almost want to put Ohio State in there, but I'm going to put Michigan in there as 4 just because I'm a Michigan homer.
That you are.
Yeah. What about you?
My top, who I think the top 4 teams in the country are, like you said, we're not fitting with the national narrative. We're not going by that. I think Alabama is a clear number 1.
Yes.
Clemson number 2. I think OU's the 3rd best team in the country right now. I really do. I think Lincoln Riley is a really good coach. I think their defense still struggles, but when has their defense not struggled?
Yeah.
And they've still been there all the time. And number 4, 4 is kind of, I don't believe in LSU and I don't believe in Michigan yet.
Yeah.
So I have Alabama, Clemson, and OU, and I'll go Georgia at 4.
I can understand that.
Yeah, a bad loss last year to Auburn on the road, and then they proved that they were the better team. They had a bad loss at LSU, followed up with a big win over Florida. I think Jake Fromm is really good.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart. I just think those are the most talented teams in football with the best coaching staffs. I mean, Notre Dame's probably going to go undefeated and get in there, and they better hope that they don't play Alabama.
Yeah.
Because it will be worse than 2013?
Yeah.
It will get ugly.
But, I mean, do we both think the national championship game is going to be Alabama-Clemson? That's what I think it is.
I don't know if I buy Clemson. I think they'll get in the college football playoff because there's no one in the ACC that's going to stop them.
Right.
I think they get there. We'll see what the 4 are, but I think there's a good chance to see Clemson and Alabama. I think Alabama's going to be there unless Tua Tagovailoa something bad has to happen for Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going into LSU and they will annihilate LSU. Annihilate them this weekend.
I think this is another game we don't see Tua play 4 quarters.
No. And, I mean, LSU's, they've had some good wins this season, obviously over Georgia.
Yeah.
But LSU is plagued by the same problem. If they get down by 14, you've won the game.
Right.
But they just make a few plays on offense, and their defense is so good. They create turnovers. They score on defense, and they have really good special teams. But I think his name's Joe Burrow. He couldn't start at Ohio State, so he transfers there. I mean, you're not scared of him lighting you up.
Right, and I mean, to kind of take it to college basketball, last year that's what we saw with Virginia, that 1 seed that lost to the 16 seed. Their defense was so elite, but once they fell behind by, 10 points, they were out of the game.
Yeah, and it was over.
Yeah, and LSU's kind of like the same way, just like you said, but I can't – your OU pick kind of – I can see where you're coming from because I think they're the best offense in the country, one of the most high-powered for sure.
They scare me more than a lot of people.
But we saw what and I know they don't have Stoops in there anymore, and maybe that was addition by subtraction on the defensive end. They have played 2 of the best defensive games, I think, statistics-wise, in several years for OU. But I just don't know if that can hold up against a team that can hold OU to under 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think OU could win a national championship, but the top 4.
Okay.
I think they are in the top. I think they would beat Michigan with ease. I really do.
Okay.
I think that they could take care of Michigan. I think they could beat LSU. I think their offense will just overwhelm people once you get in that 4th quarter. You might contain them, but eventually something's going to break. So I really do. We'll see. Yet they still have to play West Virginia. So that's the last game of the season. So and this weekend in Lubbock is an interesting game because Alan Bowman can light it up.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting game for them. Who's your first 2 out?
It would be Michigan and did I put Notre Dame in there?
I don't.
I think I put. If I said Notre Dame. If I said LSU. Those 2.
I would put Notre Dame and Michigan as my first 2
Yeah.
out. So you don't see UCF in there at all. Wow.
No, but they're going to be co-national champions anyway because they're going to get screwed by the committee and they're not going to get in, but they'll go undefeated and win by the same metric. They'll be co-national champions for 2 years.
I wait all year for these games because I love the NFL, but college football I love it. The passion on Saturdays. College football is undefeated. I mean, it's great. But if I wait all year for these college football playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
If they put UCF in there, I would be mad because I would be robbed of a good game. But I would also be happy because it would shut everyone up that thinks that they can contend with a real team. And don't tell me, well, they beat Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It was the Peach Bowl. Auburn didn't care. They had just lost an SEC championship game and a shot at a national title. The same reason that in 2012 or 14, whenever Auburn had the kick six, Alabama lost to OU in the Sugar Bowl because they had just lost a chance at a national title and they didn't care. UCF is not as good as last year, but please go undefeated. And the committee, please put them in at number 4. Please let them play Alabama. Please. Because Nick Saban will end the program in Orlando, Florida. They won't show up next season if they play Alabama. And everyone can stop talking. And listen, everything crazy happens in Florida. Everyone that watches the news knows that. They went in and made a law, the Florida legislature, where you could get a national championship license plate.
Yeah.
If they lost to Alabama by more than 60, I want that law overturned. And I want everyone that has that license plate to have to turn it in and get new license plates. Please, committee, please. I need this man to apologize for his UCF takes. Heck, put Michigan in there. I want to see Michigan. What would you do in a Michigan-Central Florida matchup?
I'd root for Michigan.
Would you now?
I would.
That's interesting, Logan. That's interesting. I think you're starting to slip a little bit on your Golden Knight
I am a little
passion.
bit.
You're starting to see it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, beating Memphis by a field goal.
They struggled against Memphis last year, though.
Thank you.
But then they went and beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl, you know?
In the Peach Bowl. Auburn didn't want to be there. They wanted to go celebrate Christmas already.
You want to talk about another game that's going to upset you? Just before we go to break real quick.
What game is that?
It's Georgia and Kentucky next week. They play for a spot in the SEC championship game.
Hey, you know what? I have to say, beat Georgia. Please. Please beat Georgia. It's the same thing as UCF. It's the same thing as Michigan. Just play Alabama. I want you. Kentucky, please.
Wouldn't that be like the highlight of Kentucky football, though, going to the SEC championship game, even if they get blown out by 80?
I mean, sort of. I mean, when your history is the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, sure. I mean, they're not beating Georgia. They don't have a chance. And
they are currently 9.5-point dogs at home.
They beat Vanderbilt by a touchdown in Mizzou on the last play of the game. They beat Vanderbilt and Mizzou by a combined 8 points.
I'll be watching that game for sure, though. I'll be excited for the Wildcats.
Is it a night game?
2:30. 2:30. It's on
won't
CBS.
be able to watch it, but I will be paying close attention. We'll be right back on One-on-One, Ocean Student Radio, KXUI, Sunlink Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Christian University. Get your master's degree in accounting, business administration, theology, engineering, computer science, or cybersecurity from Oklahoma Christian University. Apply at oc.edu/grad. Oklahoma University is committed to offering the best graduate school experience we possibly can. Come learn and grow with us. And The Table. Stop by The Table on Thursdays at 8 p.m. to join their Bible study. Shoot Rachel an email at rachel@thetableosu.com for more information. We'll be right back.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Welcome back to One on One on OSU Student Radio, KQI, Sunlink, Channel 112, live from Studio 318. I'm Reed Spencer, joined by my co-host Logan Mosier. The NFL weekend, not as entertaining as college football, but we will start with the breaking news that happened today. Hugh Jackson might be available to come on the show Friday because he got fired today.
Him and the OC.
Yes, along with Todd Haley. A lot of people speculated that Todd Haley would be the interim head coach.
Nope.
Oh, what a nightmare in Cleveland. A nightmare that never ends. His best season in Cleveland, 2 wins. They are vastly improved. Greg Williams, the interim head coach, who once was suspended for putting out bounties on players as the New Orleans Saints defensive coordinator, is the interim head coach. They play my Kansas City Chiefs this weekend, but Hugh Jackson is out as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Yes.
How do you not get fired after going 0-16?
And 1-31 in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they felt sorry for him. I don't know if no one else would take the job. I don't know. But I feel sorry for him. I do think this is a good opportunity for a good coach to make a name, make history, because there's a good opportunity in Cleveland. I really do think that. But it's a terrible situation in Cleveland. Just bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
I'm kind of like you. How do you not fire him after 1-15?
Yeah.
And then 1-31? How do you keep that guy? How do you keep him? I mean, he was clueless. If you watched Hard Knocks, if you paid attention to the press conferences, it hurt that he was the head football coach of a team in the National Football League.
Yeah, and something tells me he's not going to be ever again.
I would say the betting line on Vegas is probably way in favor of Hugh Jackson never being a head coach. I think he might get an OC job or a positions coach somewhere in the NFL. I think as a person, a lot of people respect Hugh Jackson, and I think he has a decent offensive mind, but no.
Yeah.
Not as a head coach. It wasn't good in Oakland. It wasn't good in Cleveland.
Yeah. I will say I'm surprised it took until week 8 to see the first coach fired. I thought he was going for it like early in the season. And then I thought Jason Garrett was working his way there, but I think we've all decided he saw some unspeakable act committed by Jerry Jones and just has a job for life.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly am surprised that Hugh Jackson got fired this way. I didn't think John Dorsey was that way. I don't disagree with the move, but they've essentially given up on the season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the streak, what was the streak? Now the past 6 Browns head coaches have been fired after the second Steelers loss.
Yes, the second loss to the Steelers has proven to be the final nail in the coffin for the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. A crazy stat.
And I mean, how do you go from tying with the Steelers in week 1 to being blown out by 15?
Well, you're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the Steelers had a ton of
dysfunction
off-season and the dysfunction. It's still not fixed, but they are in a little bit better situation than they are, than they were at that time. But Fitzmagic is back.
They should have given him more than, what was it? What was he out there for?
Yes, the Bengals beat the Bucs 37-34. Ryan Fitzpatrick was 11 of 15, 194 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jameis Winston started the game and was 18 of 35, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions, and was benched. Now Ryan Fitzpatrick has been named the starter for this week. What a mess in Tampa Bay. Dirk Cutter, I think, will be the next head coach to be fired.
Yeah, he's definitely on the short list. Him and, well, not John Gruden, but yeah, John Gruden's in there for the long haul. Sorry, Raiders fans, but I mean,
yikes.
How do you not make this decision sooner? Like, you know what Jameis Winston is, and I mean, I heard a stat like on the road in the past 10 games or something like that. As a starter, he's 0-10 or something like that, and he has not improved at all. And he has just proven to be an awful person off the field. I mean, that's the best way I could put it. He's an awful person, it seems. He doesn't win you games. Like, what's the point of keeping him? I would be surprised if he's on a roster next season.
Jameis Winston.
Yes.
On a roster. I think he'll definitely be on a roster.
Do you think he'll start anywhere? Or do you think he'll just be a backup somewhere?
Logan, there's a lot of bad situations in the National Football League. I mean, okay, here's a question I'll pose to you. And I can't disagree either way because they're both throw to the wrong team.
Mm-hmm.
But Blake Bortles or Jameis Winston,
I would rather have Blake Bortles.
That's fair. I mean, I can't. Well, I mean, how am I going to support either argument?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. They're both overpaid and underqualified. But I think Dirk Cutter, he's already fired his defensive coordinator. I think he's out very soon. Very soon. Well, my Kansas City Chiefs take care of your Denver Broncos 30-23. Patrick Mahomes, 24 of 34, 303 yards, 4 touchdowns, passes for over 300 yards again. He did not play well. He made some mistakes, but they were enough to overwhelm the Broncos.
4 touchdowns, but he didn't play well.
Derek Wolfe, has criticized how the Chiefs, their offensive linemen are blocking downfield. He thinks it should be a penalty. He said he didn't like anyone in Kansas City besides Travis Kelce. Derek Wolfe, cry somewhere else. You can go to Twitter, cry, that's fine. Your team's not good. Your coach, not good. Your quarterback is the only guy to throw interceptions through the first 8 weeks of the season, I think. Come on. What are you mad at Kansas City? Peyton Manning and the Broncos offense started that pick play crap. I will call it was crap. Totally illegal, but you got away with it, and you end up winning a Super Bowl with it. So now you have a problem with us reinventing the offense? Get over yourself, man. Kansas, 80,000 people were laughing at you yesterday. Whine all you want. Take the second L in the same month to the same team. Hope you had a nice flight back. You will not win 3 more games the rest of the season.
I hope not. We're coming for you, Justin.
Lucky for you.
We are.
Lucky for you, the Cardinals and the 49ers are worse, but they have their quarterback
they
already.
Don't need a quarterback.
But the New York Football Giants might slip in there.
I am very nervous about how bad the Giants are and how sick of Eli everyone is.
We're watching the NFL draft together.
I hope they just take the wrong quarterback.
We will watch the draft together. The Panthers get a win over the Ravens, 34-21. They are forcing now the Ravens fall to 4-4. The Panthers are on their way up. The Colts beat the Raiders, no shock there. Derek Carr, 21-28, 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. He didn't cry, but they still lost. The Rams in a close one over the Packers, 29-27. Ty Montgomery.
I was about to say, did you see everyone ripping Ty Montgomery?
Well, so he fumbled. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers. You give Aaron Rodgers the ball back with 2 minutes and down by 2 points. We knew how that was going to end.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't end any other way. But he was furious, I guess, taking out of the last offensive drive, had basically been benched. I don't know. Was being punished. He threw his helmet. So there is some conspiracy theorists that they told him to stay in the end zone. Do not run. And he ran out, sort of screw you to the Packers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he fumbled on purpose. I don't know what was going on there, but there is some speculation that might have been planned by Ty Montgomery. I'm not going to say that because I don't think when you're competing at that level with that much on the line, I do not think Ty Montgomery. Maybe he was going to run out and he didn't listen to that, but I don't think he fumbled on purpose.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's kind of hard to believe that just because you think guys that are at the highest level want to compete, and gosh, this is something you see in Madden. It bounces off the defender's hand and you still catch it. That's some stuff that you yell at your friend for in Madden and you're not happy about. But
great logo in the end zone there, painted over everything USC.
Right.
Awful.
Pac-12 logo still there, but what did you think of Todd Gurley going down?
Oh, listen, I'm not a gambling man, so I didn't have a problem with it.
Our friend Colicchio was not happy.
But there was a lot of money because they were going to cover with that.
Yep.
They were going to take the over. They were going to cover. And fantasy owners are mad. Vegas is mad. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's honestly more respectful.
Yeah.
I think it's, let's get out of here. We won the game. I'm not going to run up the score. I'm not going to do that. It is what it is. You're seeing former Chief there, Marcus Peters, can't cover anyone this year. But, man, I don't have a problem with it. But when you start looking at the money that he had an impact on.
It's a lot of money.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare for a lot of people. But I don't have a problem with it. There's no Minneapolis Miracle for the Vikings last night.
No.
Adam Thielen improved, I think, his 8th straight game.
Yep, 100 yards.
Yeah, ties Calvin Johnson, the only 2 to ever do it. But the Saints get to win 30-20. So an interesting weekend in the NFL as well. Todd Haley, Hugh Jackson, the first fired of the season. So maybe we could have him on the show Friday. You never know.
We'll reach out.
Really quickly, who's the worst team in the National Football League for you?
I thought about this for a while, and it's definitely the Raiders.
You think it's?
I had to juggle between the Raiders and the Giants. I took the Raiders.
I went with the Giants because I know Derek Carr sobbed a little bit on the field, but he has more talent than Eli Manning. At least there is some glimmer of hope, even though they've traded anyone with talent. There's a glimmer of hope in Oakland. The Giants, until they get a new quarterback, I don't know, because they've passed up every other opportunity. You would think they would have to this season, but the Giants are pretty bad. I think, you can't think of the 49ers. They've had so many injuries.
Yeah.
It's just not fair. And the Cardinals as well, Josh Rosen, they're going to get there. I think it'll be with another head coach.
Yeah.
But an interesting weekend there. Tyronn Lue also might be a special guest on Friday. He was fired after the 0-6 start in Cleveland. Everyone's getting fired in Cleveland. Kevin Love is out for a month. Do you think Tyronn Lue deserved to be fired?
Deserved to be? No. But I think he got lucky and got out of there. Because that Cavs, the organization's dysfunctional as any other in sports probably. They're gonna trade Kevin Love. Do not expect Kevin Love to be on this roster come January.
You think they're going to trade him?
His contract will become tradable in January, and he will be gone before the trade deadline. They don't want to pay him that much money. They're just going to go full rebuild. And Tyronn Lue dodged a bullet because with LeBron there, he had a lot of trouble, keeping it together. Mentally, he had to take some time off, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think he dodged a bullet getting out of one of the worst organizations, and he can go be an assistant, or I think he deserves another shot at a head coaching job. Because when you're a head coach for LeBron, you don't get enough credit for wins, and you get a lot of blame for losses. I want to see what he can do somewhere else with some other roster.
I would like to see him take a couple of years off.
I would too.
A couple of years off, kind of re-energize, reinvent himself, and then come back. I do think you're right. He deserves another chance.
Did you see who's trying to get back into the coaching game?
That was my next point.
Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino, 54 days ago, told ESPN he had no interest in ever coaching again.
He didn't even make it 2 months.
Today, he tells ESPN, I want to coach in the NBA. His NBA coaching record is way under 500 with the Knicks and Celtics.
Yes. It was bad.
I mean, Logan, why would anyone want this guy? Why? Why would anyone want this guy? He's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cavs will hire him because they're that incompetent.
I was about to say, that would be the ultimate Cavs move.
Rick Pitino, really? Just sell your book, keep lying. I mean, whatever you have to do to make yourself happy. But coaching, it's not. It's
I could see him being an assistant.
I don't think he could be an assistant to anyone though.
Right. He might not want that, but I could see that being a role he would actually be kind of good at. But
what a nightmare. Yeah. What a nightmare.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to want to back in somewhere.
This guy's worse at the podium than Urban Meyer, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Really quickly, Thunder finally get a win.
Yes.
Turning things around, or are you still a little nervous?
I think they've kind of turned it around. They're getting Westbrook back. He's getting more in shape. Obviously, they're not going to be the same until they get Roberson back, but I think it was against the Suns with no Devin Booker, but a win's a win. At the end of the day, it's a W in the column, and they got to turn it around at some point. And I think this was a good start.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, come back, and talk about the world champion Boston Red Sox. We'll be right back on One-on-One, OSU Student Radio, KXUY, Suddenlink, Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Air National Guard. Contact Oklahoma Air National Guard at 800-GO-TO-ANG. Visit their website at goang.com/OK for more information about how to get 100% college tuition. And Unitarian Universalist Church. If you're looking for a church home, visit Unitarian Universalist Church of Stillwater, located at 320 South Stallion Street. They offer an alternative spiritual path and welcome all races, religions, and beliefs. They're also LGBTQ friendly. Services every Sunday at 10:30. We'll be right back.
Stillwater Medical Center now offers a convenient way to view your health information online. It's secure, easy, and free. Our hospital and clinic patient portals allow you to view results and reports, medications and allergies, track visit histories, view upcoming appointment information, and see your statements. To enroll, go to stillwatermedical.com and click on the patient portal link near the top right of the page. If you have questions, please feel free to call 405-533-6010.
Welcome back to One on One on OSU Student Radio KXUI, Sunlink Channel 112. As you see there, the Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Yeah.
Was it their third or fourth title since 2004?
Four.
Since 2004.
Sorry, Jason.
The Red Sox, like I said, are world champions. We will get into a little criticism of the Red Sox in just a moment, but all credit due to them. They win it 4-1 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Steve Pearce named MVP, 412, 8 RBIs, and a couple of big home runs.
Yeah.
So I will ask you, since you got a little angry at me over the break, I guess you could say, who was your MVP? If it was up to you to name it, who would it have been?
It would have been David Price. We talked about I asked you who yours was, and who's yours? I'll just let you say. I won't say it for you.
David Price, because the guy finally learned how to win a playoff game.
I was about to say he stole my pick. I thought I was gonna shock the world by picking David Price, but Reed and I think too much alike. I mean, like you said, he learned how to pitch in a playoff baseball game. What was he? 0-9 going into this postseason.
Yeah, 0-10.
0-10.
And now he's 3-10.
He's 3-10, which I mean is not great, but
no, but for
it's
being
incredible.
0-10, you know,
he turned it around.
He's 3-0 in his last 3.
Yeah,
Logan. I
mean,
mean,
he won a World Series.
Yeah, I think Boston could have swept this thing easily.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts, I know Colicchio behind the camera there, especially Dodgers fans, are mad at Dave Roberts for his bullpen picks. Logan, if Max Andrews or Landon, they put us on this show and they say, here you go.
Yep.
If we do a terrible job, awful, embarrassingly bad, we cannot go on again, whose fault is it?
It's ours.
It's our fault. If I tell Jason to go to the grocery store and buy me a bag of popcorn and he comes back with Skittles, whose fault is that?
It's Jason's.
Jason's. So when you put a professional athlete out there on the mound and they don't perform, they get you to the World Series, they don't perform, why is it the manager's fault? Yeah. Why is it guys who have been there all season can't perform in the biggest moments? Why is it their fault? You think Clayton Kershaw is going to lose 2 games in the World Series? No, but should we be mad that he started him? No. Kenley Jansen gives up home runs. Why is it Dave Roberts' fault when he puts his best pitchers out there and they don't perform? What else is he supposed to do?
Nothing. I mean, he can't go out there and pitch for him. One thing I saw, though, I don't blame him for it, but, like, why was he so reluctant to use guys that he normally uses as starters as relievers for a couple innings? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair, but
like you said, it's up to the players at the end of the day. Like, the manager can make as many changes as he wants, but if the players don't go out there and perform, there's nothing you can do. And
no.
I mean,
he was a victim of his circumstance, I guess you could say.
I mean, he's gotten him to 2 World Series, and I mean, you can say that's the players, they got him there, but he's obviously done well enough to get him to the World Series, as Colicchio gives us a big thumbs down from behind the camera. I mean, I don't know. I think Dodgers fans are a little sour of going to 2 straight and losing 2 straight. So I think they're looking for something or someone to blame.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think that Clayton Kershaw will opt out of his contract? He has 2 years left. He can opt out.
No.
No, you don't think
I
he will?
I don't think he will.
LA?
Yeah.
So, Boston has now won their 11th championship in this century.
Yeah.
The Red Sox have 4, the Patriots have 5, Celtics have 1, and Bruins have 1. They are all about championships in Boston.
They are.
The Yankees had the 1918 chant for, 86 years? The Curse of the Bambino.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Red Sox win 4 of 4. And obviously the Patriots and the Celtics are one of the the winningest team in NBA history. They have 16 championships.
Yeah.
The Bruins are a good NHL team. Patriots, obviously, with Tom Brady and Belichick, what they've done.
Yeah.
Why is it, Logan, that when the Red Sox win a world championship, I'm watching the game and I hear in Dodger Stadium, Yankees suck, Yankees suck. And then we go to the locker room and they're playing New York. A little shout out to Aaron Judge after. You just won a world championship.
Yeah.
How? After winning 4 since 2004, the Yankees still own real estate in your head. You just won a world championship and you're mad at the Yankees? You're mad because you'll never be the Yankees. Win 4 of the next 4. You'll never be the greatest franchise in sports history. The Yankees have all the history. They have New York. I don't understand. I do not understand it. That's like OSU winning a national championship and playing Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
Who cares about OU when you win? Who cares? But for the Red Sox to be playing that and the fans at Dodger Stadium to be chanting Yankees suck, the Yankees are in their head. They own permanent real estate there, and I don't understand it. If you're in New York arguing, if I'm a Boston fan and I argue with Jason, he's from New York, big Yankees fan, I can throw that in his face. But they just won a world championship. Who cares about the New York Yankees? But it's absolutely laughable to me that when you're watching this, the Yankees still own real estate in their head. The Red Sox will never be the Yankees. They could win 4 of the next 4, Logan, and they won't be.
Yeah.
It's a joke. What's that? Gives them 5 now? 22 short of the New York Yankees. 22 short. But you think that you can taunt Yankees fans after you win a World Series? Enjoy your own stuff. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think that comes in large part from Boston fans being spoiled from the success you just mentioned. Being a Boston sports fan is the easiest thing in the world.
Other than living in Boston, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you've had nothing to complain about for 20 years, and before that you've had success in other sports besides baseball.
The Celtics were dominant in the 80s.
I mean, you had the 60s with the Celtics, the 80s with the Celtics, the late 2000s with the Celtics, and now with the Celtics. And I mean, you've had the past, 18 years with the Patriots.
Yeah, and the Red Sox, 4, and the Bruins have been there. They won 1. They've been to a couple of Stanley Cup finals. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get the real estate that they have.
I mean, if I'm a New York fan, if I'm Jason back there, I'm loving it. I'm loving that these guys are thinking about us
Probably
when
not
they're
loving it.
Well, no, but I like the idea. That would be the positive I take away from watching my arch nemesis win something. They're thinking of you.
All about positivity, Logan.
I try to be.
You try. I honestly do have to say, and I don't like the Red Sox. We're honest here. But I didn't have a problem with them winning. It didn't keep me up last night.
Right.
But was that not the worst celebration that you've ever seen?
It was one of the lamest I've ever seen.
We won a World Series.
You want to know a better celebration? I hate to take this back to the NBA, but the Warriors dancing to the Fergie National Anthem remix.
That hurt my heart a little bit.
That was hilarious.
That was the most savage move.
Dude, don't pick a fight with the Warriors.
It's like her ex-husband came and criticized that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
He was trying to make a name for himself, and he did. But, ouch. Oh. Uh-oh.
So good.
They went there.
They did. Sorry to derail us.
No, I think that was a great point. I was done talking about the Red Sox. Baseball's done till February. Thank the Lord.
We made it, Reed. We got through baseball season.
We got through baseball. Now we just have football and basketball. We aren't forced to talk about it anymore. Catchers and pitchers report in February. We now have 4 months off from baseball. Go ahead and predict it now. The Yankees are going to win the World Series next year. I just jinxed him right there.
Yeah.
Jason should have just collapsed because I just jinxed the Yankees there. But, I mean, Boston's going to be really good with Alex Cora for a long time.
Yes.
Congratulations to Boston, but don't understand the real estate that the Yankees own. And that celebration was. But we will see you Wednesday with OSU insider Robert Allen. Thank you for watching One-on-One on OSU Student Radio KXUY Suddenlink Channel 112.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
Cash for Crazy to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.